back to work. Go on.
Alright, so I didn't quite get the last couple hours of work going on. However, what I've been struggling with is getting the thread on this to be as good as it can be. And let's pull this out here so we can see. So initially this threading came out probably 3 or 4 more rings or turns before that, and I was getting stuck right around in this area, or just above it, which is now cut off. What seemed to be going on at the time was that a couple of the rails had pretty much been malformed or just non-existent, and I had thought that it was getting caught up on that when I was threading it into here. However, having cut that section off, I'm finding that even though I've ground this down, it's still getting caught at right about the same place, which has me thinking that perhaps the problem is inside of this ring. However, looking at it carefully all around, and I'm looking down here right at the moment, everything seems to be fairly straightforward, and none of the rings seem to be out of place. So instead of what I've been concentrating on is taking a Dremel cutting wheel and cutting in between all these grooves to get a lot more room in there. That really wasn't making me any progress getting this to fit that way. So then what I started doing is shaving down the sides, and that got me fitting back to where you just saw it. So initially I could get it right about there, and that's a fairly loose fit. So now get a few more turns in there. That's a much more solid fit, but it's still only going as far as I had previously, which started this whole problem. Then something else I just did was to use the Dremel cutting wheel to slice off some extra length here. You'll notice that blue line, and that blue line corresponds to the inside of here when the pipe is inserted. Completely through. Oops, yeah, I should have done it that way. So with the flange on, that blue line is just in here, and I cut the piece to fit just out there because I don't want to cut this too short really, but even then I could probably cut it somewhere in here. I just don't want to do that quite yet. So next up, what I'll be doing, probably tomorrow, maybe later tonight, is doing the same thing on this guy. The thread itself doesn't go in as far as I would like it to, and this bar is far much longer than it needs to be. And it's too much longer by at least this amount right here, which is a fair amount really. So I'm going to have to measure that and cut it off of this end. And again, this could be cut to just inside as long as most of the bar is covering itself for the most possible strength, and then, as I had mentioned, drilling a couple holes through here to pin things down.
So I can't quite get much of a better angle, and as you can see I got my dust mask on to keep all the steel particles away from my face and my lungs. What I will do now is shave this down this way just a little more. So this is now just a dash thinner, and I've cut the grooves just a little deeper. Let's see if this fits a little better. A dash, just a little dash. What I suspect is that this is a little too wide for the flange, or these grooves aren't quite as deep as they need to be. So that's pretty much the end of this second cutting wheel that I've used here. So I'm going to take a break for a while. It's just about dinner time anyway. Let's check again on the fit. Definitely getting there. So it would seem that maybe part of the issue is that the grooves aren't as deep as they need to be. They're definitely smooth. Or maybe they're just a little too wide. Let's give it another second. One of the dangers I need to avoid is cutting all the way through the metal. I did just a little right there, so I don't want to go too much deeper overall. I have cut this end much more than I've cut this end though, so there is a little more room on this side. And still better and better. By about a full twist. Better and better. It's got to be the width that's doing it. I wish I had a better camera angle for you too, so you could see what's going on. Hey, perfect. Absolutely perfect. So it was the diameter of the thread that was doing it. I could probably shave it down a little more, but that's coming through just about all the way. What the heck? While I'm here, may as well. And to keep things in place, I've got a little blue mark there so I know when I've done full rotations. That's just about perfect. Goes all the way through. Very happy. And now it's dinner time.